Hello friends, welcome back to day 2 of my Vanguard GT tournament report. I had some feedback from a good friend on day 1's report, which was that he hadn't played Kings of War for a while, and upon viewing my report he found it confusing because he'd forgotten how to play. And I was reflecting that while that means that obviously he's massively lame, I probably slipped straight into assuming everyone knows how the game works, what my stuff does, how you play, a little too much. So that was really good feedback, actually, and I'm really grateful for it. So I'm going to try and explain things a little bit better. Not that it matters. I mean, if you didn't understand day 1, you're not going to go into day 2, are you? But from now on, we consider this a line in the sand, whereby I'm going to try and explain things a bit more. Hopefully that won't be too irritating for those of you who know the game already. And if you are newer to Kings of War, hopefully it might make things a little bit easier. Actually, you get a lot less people viewing your day 2 videos when you do a 2-day GT video, because they tend to be 5 or 6 games, so I can't put it all in one report. I tend to do 3 and 2, 3 and 3. Colossally less people view a day 2 report. I think that's sad, because a day 2 report is actually more exciting, because by that point you've worked out how your army works, if you're me. Anyway. Moving on, so this is my report from Vanguard, which of course is in the magnificent US of A, where I went, and it's run by the magnificent Mike Atkins. There he is, again, with me. Lovely, lovely, lovely man. Lovely family, incredible house, just what a guy. Just fantastic. This was my list, so I'll go over it again real quick for you. So it has a kind of a solid anvil core of foot guard. So these foot guard up here on the left hand side are they're all defense 5. Their nerve is although it seems low here, the monarch, who is down here, has rallying 2 for knights only, and these are the only knights in my army. So these guys actually, typically if they're with the monarch, they're a 16-18 regiment and a 23-25, which is a very good nerve line. So they're very strong. They don't hit badly, and they've all got indomitable will. So if they get wavered, you have the indomitable will rule that allows you to not be wavered, to essentially become fearless for a turn, which is very, very useful. So that's kind of my solid core, around which I have a very hitty. The original concept of this army was a Fanatics force, because I thought that was hilarious. The first version of this list started out as 8 regiments of Fanatics. I've toned it down since then a bit. And I originally had the Monarch. The Monarch can take another upgrade, which gives Fanatics Vicious. And I originally had that, but it just didn't quite work, because you needed more of an anvil. So we have 3 regiments and 1 horde of Fanatics. So Fanatics they're the kind of the worst berserkers, really, in the game. Everyone else's berserkers are a lot better. Right, but Kingdoms of Men are kind of a base unit for the rest of the Kings of War armies points wise, so they're relatively cheap. And what I've done is I have tooled them up, because I think Fanatics on their own don't do anything. They need items to do anything well, and they've all got a good dash 15 nerve, or dash 22 for the Horde. The Horde doesn't have any items, because I think it makes it too much of a Death Star unit. I don't like Death Star units because then everyone focuses on them. So we've got Vicious, Elite, and hitting on 2s for this one. So this one is very, very strong indeed, especially if you get a Bane chart off. They all charge up to 13 because of the Wild Charge D3, so they're pretty strong units, but very, very squishy because they're only defense 3. Like Fire and Forget missiles. Then the secret sauce in my list is 3 ballistas. Ballistas are amazing. If you caught my my day 1 video, you will see that they took off a defense 6 unit on their own in 1 turn. If you roll well, they're amazing. 2 attacks, but they are blast D3, so you can multiply your attacks, and they do hit on 4s normally. Big fan of ballistas, I am. I have an army standard bearer for Bane Charge. The Aura of Life Leech 1 is a joke, and I forgot it for the entire tournament. I have a Fanatic. I really like Fanatic Instigators. I don't think I use him very well, but 6 attacks on a dash 14 nerve. Wild Charge D3 means he can charge up to 23 inches sometimes. He is mighty, which is annoying because I forgot that he was mighty. I thought he wasn't, but he is. I think having been beaten by an Orc list with a Morax Mansplitter in it, who is better than an Instigator in pretty much everything, for relatively similar points. It was a little bit irritating. Anyway, I've got a wizard on a Pegasus. The wizards on a Pegasus are great because they can act as chaff in a pinch, and they frequently do. I gave him Bane Chant and Hex so that he has something to do every round, largely when there's a caster. I did originally run 2 wizards just on Pegasus with no spells, and I kind of imagined they were just Rincewind, you know, just the worst wizard, just sent off to die, with just as chaff pieces, and that kind of worked, but then also didn't, because only 60 points. Anyway, I have a hero on Pegasus, who is a great little chaffy piece. Doesn't do a lot, but dies a lot. Never used the Indomitable Will, but 5 points that I spelled in it just in case they got wavered. A general on Winged Beast, who always gets wavered, so he got the Staying Stone to make him a 15-16. And that is a great mini dragon. Expensive, but great. And then I have the Monarch that I mentioned, which is an actual dragon, but only speed 7 because he's on foot. I wish he had Strider. It would make him significantly better. Right, that's my list. And into round 4. Oh, the bonus. Oh, see, I almost forgot again. The bonus objectives. We have bonus objectives you could choose each game. I'm searching around on my desk for the piece of paper that I brought home. Here it is. Sound piece of paper. So each game you have a bonus objective you could choose secretly at the beginning of the game. And if you achieve that bonus objective, you get an extra 2 tournament points. It doesn't affect you winning the game. It just affects your tournament score. So far, I'm 1 out of 3 in the first 3 games. And this game, I chose Hold the Line. End the game with a higher total unit strength, completely on your table half than your opponent has, completely on your table half. I thought I might be able to pull this off, despite the high unit strength of my opponent. And if I remember at the end of the game, I'll tell you what happened. So into game 4 versus Tony, who is a giant of a man. He's about 17 foot tall and about 17 foot wide. He's a great big rugby player guy and just so gentle and lovely. He also, he had one of his arms was in like a cast. It was like strapped up because he couldn't move it, which made it very difficult for him to play, but he did really amazingly considering. And he was also playing Kingdoms of Men. It's man on man action, everyone. Yeah, hot man on man action. That's what I'm saying. Really, Tony and I got on like a house on fire. It was great. And so here's his Kingdoms of Men, which is like my Kingdoms of Men, but actually good. This list is pretty great. So he has 6 regiments of spear phalanx. So these are like my guys, but their defense 4. Their nerve is way worse, but they have phalanx and ensnare. So in the meta where we were playing, lots of flying, lots of cavalry. So this is a nice, these guys could pretty much stand up to a lot. I'd be tempted to take a horde in the middle. Just me. Cheaper as well. Save some points. You can afford another blister out of that. 2 hordes of beast cavalry all tooled up. I think if you're going to take a horde of beast cavalry, you pretty much take it all tooled up because they're dracons but better. Just the 2 ballistas. Got to take 3 guys, in my opinion. And he's got 1 standard bearer with heal. So Shroud of the Saint giving him heal 3. And 1 with Bane Chant. Inspiring, and then he has all the flyers. So he has 2 heroes on Pegasus for chaff, and 3 generals on Winged Beast. Count them, 3. Which, I'm going to be honest with you, I believe is the correct number of general on Winged Beasts to take. He has 17 units. How many do I have? 60. He had 1 more unit than me. Feels wrong, doesn't it? It's all the Spear Phalanx Regiment. Anyway. 1 more unit than me, 29 unit strength as opposed to my 28. Yeah. Man on man, let's go. And we were playing Plunder on this beautiful table. Look at this scenery. Mike, he uses an airbrush to paint his stuff, and I can't be bothered, but it is gorgeous. Very jealous. So, which remembered to set out correctly. If you remember in the last game, we forgot to set it out correctly. So this is actually a forest with the woods on, and there's another forest over here. The woods are here, obviously, and they are height 9. There are 2 lovely height 3 hills. These are height 2 difficult terrain. I did like the idea of height 2 difficult terrain because you can hide behind it. I didn't like the fact that it has this fixed scenery on it because it made it very hard to balance your unit, but that's just me. Height flat lake over here, 2 height 2 walls, and a height 9 pair of impassable terrains. We are playing Plunder. Plunder is the scenario where you have 5 loot tokens across the center of the board. And after choosing sides, each of you nominates one of those to be worth 2. So in this case, these red tokens are worth 2, and the grey ones are worth 1. So the trick is to either get both red ones or get a red one and 2 grey ones. So how do I play this against the list that is basically my list but better? And we end up like this. So we've chosen these tokens. So I chose the one at this end because I looked at the board and I thought, yes, I like a house in my deployment zone because it means I can hang off it, right? So people can't flank me. So I chose this one. Tony chose the one in the middle, which is fine by me because what that means is that we're going to be playing here, right? This is the place where all the action's going to happen, which means that I can work on these tokens, which is my strategy. I'm going to try and get these ones to give me a 4-3 victory. So Tony deploys very heavily on the right hand side. He's got a blister here and a blister here. Anything with spears is a spear phalanx. These ones are all spear phalanx. This was a Macedonian force he used to have, apparently. We have these are the heroes on peg, and then anything else. This is general on peg, general on wing beast, general on wing beast, and general on wing beast. Double beast cav, very scary. Yeah, and then the standard bearers. I don't know where they are. There's one there and somewhere. There's another one. Okay, so this force outgrinds me, outhits me, and outflies me. So I need to be really clever in how I play this, which is not my strong point. So my strong kind of anvil over this side is here. I've got my horde. I want him to charge me on a wall. So I put it right in front of that. And these guys here. Basically, I want him to charge me because I'm charging into ensnare anyway. He'll probably come in with the beast cav somewhere. That's the plan. And I've got 1 fanatics regiment behind them here. And then I've got my horde of fanatics here. Do I have a better... let's show his first. That's his 2 generals and a peg over here. And everything else here. Right, very nice. Beautiful, actually. So, on my side, this is, I believe, the Vicious Regiment. So I've got fair amount of punch here. It's all very high nerve. And here's the Elite Regiment. So I have, I've committed on this side simply because... he's got all this phalanx. Even if he's moving off over here to fight things, I'm going to need to punch through with everything. And I've worked out by now, finally worked out, I need to multi-charge to win. So my General on Pegasus is down here. And the plan with the General on Pegasus, and I think, is that the... Yeah. So there is the Fanatic Instigator in front of him, because he can charge 23. The idea here is I want to take out the War Engine. I think he's going to push forwards, and he's unlikely to push forward with the War Engine, which means I might get a charge on it, and then I'll be looking kind of down his flank. So let's see if that works. So I put these 2 flying units here, a really substantial force. And then all the way over here, I've got my... So this horde of fanatics is pretty powerful in the open ground, and it's got a great patch of open ground here, backed up by my most powerful unit. These 2, on their own, will kill pretty much any unit in the game. Unless you roll a 3 on nerve, like I did against those orcs in the last game. Let's not remember that trauma. And then I've got my standard bearer there for the Bane chant to make it happen. I've got my caster here, because he wants to cast Hex on pretty much the only thing that can Hex is the heal mage. I don't think I cast it in the end. I think I use him as chaff instead. Got my hero to just hold off these guys. Okay, and then I got my 3 ballista. I felt like, at the beginning of the game, I put the ballistas down first. Specifically because, if you remember, I'm going for these tokens. So I put the ballistas here to do what we call area denial. And, he really followed through with that. I mean, everything is behind the hill and over here. So I felt okay, but then I started thinking, have I misdeployed my bolt throwers so I can't use them? We'll find out through the game. As it is, I'm going to get good shots on his generals, his heroes, and his beast cap for quite a while, because they're all taller than this hill. Still 6 shots on 5, so I'm going to hit, on average, twice a turn. So yeah, that's how we went out. And I win first turn, which was really critical, I think, because I was such a disadvantage list-wise. I really needed something. So you can see here I've measured pretty carefully. We've got our line of sight down there from the beast cav, so that these guys are out of it. Here's the range from this unit, so I'm out of that as well. And this is a very threatening position to have 2 flyers in, because if he comes forward at all with any of these units, he's opening up potentially flanks to this general, which is not what you want. We're happy with that. And everything else is just kind of either touching, well, these guys are all touching the hill. These guys charge up to 13. And a lovely kind of curve like that, which I was pleased with. Over here, so we've got, I mean, this outpowers my little hero. So what I've done is I've put my sharpness guys into the woods, so we have a nice line of sight like this. So if they try and jump, I should be able to get an attack this way, and it's not necessarily obvious. These guys are facing this way because we have beast cavalry who are going to undoubtedly be coming this way, and I've got my wizard there ready to jump in front. So that's the first phalanx of bolt throwers. We get a lovely 3 points of damage on the hero, and this is Tony's turn. So some nice moves here. So he's shoved the hero in Pegasus in front, general behind, right? So that means if we try and charge, we can't get in. However, I think this is the mistake that he's made. He hasn't checked the range here, so I think I'm in range. I think this is like 13, just 13. He's an inch behind, you can see there, and he's got this general looking at this guy. So I'm probably going to charge in here, and then I'm going to charge in here. So that he could have gone further this way and been out. So that was a mismeasurement, unfortunately. And as predicted, these guys are coming over to kind of deal with the threat from my Fnatic Horde. Everything else is focusing over here. So really nice move here with these Spear Phalanx at the back. So he's protecting against any flyovers. However, there is going to be murder time. I think I've got a flank here from the general and an attack here from the guys. Take out these. I know how great ballistas are, right? So I want to take them out early. And then over here, so another, similar move. So the general's stuck behind the hero. General is height 5. Hero is height 4. So you can see this is a great pairing. And he's just going to, there's going to be death. So into my turn 2. So what do? So I take the war engine, which Tony hadn't measured, unfortunately. I don't... I thought I sent this guy in here. Maybe I didn't. And so then we take the elite fanatics from where they were on the hill. I rolled really high on my wild charge into these guys. I will be hitting on 4s. See how we go. You see I've just kept myself out of 10. And these guys, so essentially if he does come in here, then he's going to get eaten by foot guard. So that's okay. However, I am going to have to deal with this. So I've just left myself on a wall here to stop him being tempted to double charge with birds onto a horde. They don't fit on my monarch. They fit here and they fit here, both of which are not brilliant options, because if they don't kill immediately, and these are 16, 18, so it's on an edge. They do 18 attacks on 3s, wounding on 2s. Wounding on 2s. So you get a Bane Chant off, they Thunder 1, Crush 2. They might kill, but then they're gonna get charged, right? So, and then over here, so we do get the wild charge. I rolled very well on my wild charge, and that really, really helped me. So he didn't see this, so I did get my charge, my fanatics, charge with the hero here. We've got the wizard coming up. He's just going to be a Bane Chanter for the rest of the game because there's no real casters. And we don't have any choice here. We have to charge in and then hope that the triple charge doesn't kill me. Slightly concerning. So I do get a Bane Chant off on these guys from the wizard. That's good news. What's more, I get another Bane Chant off. So I am rolling once again like a devil. If you can't be good, guys, be lucky. Bolt throwers decide to try and get this guy again. We can take him up to 8 wounds, which is pretty spectacular. He's only a 10-12. And then, of course... Oh, no, it's 8 wounds from a single turn. Holy cow in a bag. So that was a good turn. But then I roll a 3 on the nerve. He's wavered. Sad times. No one double to wheel for you. The hero does the requisite 1 wound on that general to lock him down. He could withdraw and do things, but there's not a lot he can charge. And then that's unfortunate. So my sharpness guys, they are coming out of the woods. But I don't quite roll well enough. So I'm hitting on 3s, followed by 3s. 7 wounds, which is great. And then I waver him, which is okay. I really think generals should have the option to take Indomitable Will. Anyway, We of course kill the hero. We're happy with that, and we just stay there and say, go on then, smash me up. So, sorry, the instigator did of course charge the war engine. I just hadn't moved it from the previous shot, and he murdered it because he does that. It's great. He's in a happy place now. And we use 6 wounds onto this unit of spear phalanx, which is not a lot, but is enough, I guess. Maybe we'll kill them next turn. The general does murder the other. Both war engines gone, and now he is in a very, very, very threatening place. That's nasty. Very happy about that. Turn 2 for Tony. So he takes the double charge here. So the option was triple, right? You could take the general in the middle, and they would have easily fit. Instead of that, he does the nastier option, which is to take the general 10 forwards and then double turn backwards, so that even if I kill one of these on a counter charge, he can rear charge me. What a meanie! He takes the better of the 2 options with his beast cavalry on this right side, and he takes the front and flank options here. So that's pretty good. These guys are going to die. These guys are most likely going to die. So looking tough already. We knew it was going to be. That's what it looks like. He's turned his guys around here, so all he's offering me is flanks, right? And that I can't get this one. I can get this one. I can't see this one. And if I get this one, I get charged. So that's nice manoeuvring, I would say, around a very difficult position. So a wide shot to show you the span of the battlefield. We have this big open area of non-engagement here around tokens. Excuse me. And so that is, what's that? Oh, he heals. He heals 3 wounds off. All 3 go. Damn, should have hexed him. Bane Charm was worth it. So 2 wounds back to the general, as my generals do. Fluffs his attacks. Good old generals. They're useless, aren't they, in the front? However, my Fanatics Horde, of course, explodes into tiny, tiny pieces because the Spear Phalanx were off a hill. Beast Cavalry are Beast Cavalry. You know, and they're 20-22 now. Even inspired, they're dead. So that general is now going, ah, I wanted to have a go. However, he reforms like this, and I'm not sure if he saw it or if he couldn't do anything about it. Maybe the latter. But obviously, my arc of sight from this horde goes like this. My line of sight goes like this. I can see them. So I can charge Beast Cavalry next turn. And what's more, this unit won't be able to see them. Only the general will be able to see them. This Fanatics unit explodes into tiny fanatical pieces, as does this Foot Guard regiment. So he kills everything he touches. Sure. Great. Looking a little bit weak on this side now, guys. But don't forget, I am not playing for this side. I am playing for this side. And weirdly, this is all a delaying action. However, I have nothing to counter these guys apart from my horde who's going to come here. So, although it's not disastrous, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, turn 3 for the better Kingdoms of Men. 9. So what we do is we take where do they come? Ah, of course, because there is a. Let's go to the wide shot. There it is. You see this regiment of fanatics here. Can see this horde of birds. They are there-ish, right? So what happens is the monarch backs up. He simply backs up into the terrain to allow the fanatics an unhindered charge here, and then the foot guard a charge here. So just to make sure, and what I've realised by this point is I need 3 units to kill any one unit. The instigator also comes in here, right? So now we have 3 units on his beast cavalry. I'm feeling good about their chances of dying, but let's see, because he does have 5 regiments left over here. I still have to chew through. I take the hindered charge around the corner. It's pretty good because these guys won't be able to countercharge. This guy will be able to countercharge, but it's only going to be 2 of these on a horde that's 21-23 inspired. So I'll be able to survive 2 rounds of that, I think. And I pick up a token. I fly my wizard over onto this token. And this hero is on a token here. Now the hero is not going to survive this battle for long, but he's holding that. So at the minute I've got all the tokens I want. So here's what we do. We decide with the fanatics we're going to charge this guy. So we withdraw, everyone. A rule that they do not play in the UK. Very proud of myself. I remembered it. You'll see that. Oh, that's right, because he backed up his general and then he backed up his hero. I didn't have a choice to charge the general. I couldn't. I could only rear charge the hero, which is delicious on 2s and 2s and 4s. Or 2s and 3s, in fact, maybe. No, 2s and 4s, I think, because I tried to Bane Chant here and possibly failed. So I rear charge the hero, and I'm going to bolt throw the general to try and get rid of him. He is on 7 wounds, let's see. Yeah, and the bolt throwers work. Bolt throwers are great. Big fan of ballistae, as you were. So the general goes. Then we do fantastical 6 wounds, which is rubbish. But then again, I was hitting on 4s, so 25 attacks on 4s onto this defense 5 beast cavalry unit would be, let's see, about, let's say 13 hits. And then their defense 5 didn't have a Bane. Oh, I did have a Bane chart. I don't know if I got it off or not. It looks like I might have missed it, which explains why I got it 6 wounds. And then over here, we managed to kill the beast cav, which is, oh, that's why I didn't just take 3 units into him, guys. I took 4. So it looks like the general also came over to help. And the reason I did that wasn't because I think I needed it, although I probably did. It's because I needed a shield. So my general is now going to turn around and shield against this unit, and possibly this unit as well, to give these guys a chance to kill some of this stuff using what I've got, right? Yeah, so he turns like that. So we're all turning facing. On the hill, off the hill. So these guys can see over. These guys can be seen over. So we are height 5. These guys are height 2. Instigator can do what he wants. So the Instigator can now be chaff against one of these. You know, it's making the best of a bad situation. We don't do any wounds to this general, so that's bad. He can now fly off wherever he wants. I have killed the other hero, and Fanatics facing this way, but he can go where he wants. So yeah, in response, both of these regiments of Spear Phalanx charge the general and Winged Beast, which is great for me, and we get 1 into my Fanatics here, so that's good for me. These guys hold off on this side. They don't, because they're just playing a waiting game. He decides that he is going to ignore. If he fights here, he's going to get killed by Fanatics. So instead of that, he charges my wizard on a Pegasus because he's got a token, right? It's a good move. He figures these guys are going to die pretty soon with the Beast Cav and the General, so he turns the Spear Phalanx around to support the General over here, because there are a lot of tokens over there. He gets a Bane chant off on this unit. He heals this unit by another 1. But then he only does 4 wounds, so sad. I hate to see that. So 24 attacks on 4s, and then on 5s. Oh, he gets Bane chant on one of them. So let's say 12 hits on average. Even on 4s, it should be 8. It should be a lot more wounds. That's a terrible roll. That's a really bad roll for him. So my general survives another turn. By the way, no. I was going to tell you about the fact I sculpted this feather, but you can't see it anyway. However, the Fanatics, against all the odds, die to a single regiment. Possibly because they've got this fancy hero in the front. Look at him with his pink cloak. Anyway, he killed my Fanatics. That is sad. See these guys here, and they have picked up a token. Are looking very threatening, so the Instigator's going to have to come and play. Runs those guys forward, but not forward enough. The Wizard takes 5 wounds and lives, because he's great. And there you go, 14 wounds is a lot. It's a lot, but not quite enough. Not quite enough. So I think rolling again, slightly under there. Really saving my bacon. So this is how we look. Oh, is the Wizard? No, actually, this is my go. This is turn 4. I've not taken a picture of the dice, which is unlike me now, right? I'm better at this now. Turn 4. So what happens is the hero picks up the token and decides to narc off. We turn my Fanatics around. My Wizard simply turns left rather, and moves 5. Right, he is going to get rear charged by these Spear Phalanx, but then I've got my Sharpness Fanatics to counter, right? The General we are going to try and shoot. I don't think he's on 1 wound. He is, in fact, on 7 wounds. Oh, he's on 1 wound because he's the General that came from here. He's only on 1 wound, so that's bad, isn't it? We counter charge here. These guys are on 6 wounds, so I'm pretty confident I can kill these Beast Cavalry, which puts me in a good position with my 2-point token. So over here, where does... Oh, that's right. So rather than shield off against these guys, what I do with the Instigator, I need to kill things. I've worked out, and again, 3 units per unit to kill them. I have to commit, right? So Foot Guard, Hindered Monarch, and Instigator on 1 unit. It's only a 13-15, but that's what I need to kill them. I back up my general. And then, against all the odds, bolt throwers are great. Did I mention how much ballista are great? Anyway, we'd only do 4 wounds to this general, but generals are very waverable at 14, 16, and I roll the requisite 10. Just lucky, really, to waver him at this point. I am surviving this game on the skin of my teeth. But then this happens. Isn't that gutting? I get my Bane Chant off. I do 14 wounds back, which is what he did to me. I forgot to life leech my wound, by the way. And then I double one him. I double one him! Lads and ladies and non-gender specific people. That was really frustrating, I'm going to say. Really frustrating. And then we waver these bad boys. I don't know how many wounds I did. I don't know where the wounds have gone, but that is pathetic. That's 3 units. This guy's hitting on 5s because he was hindered into the phalanx, into the snare. These guys hitting on 4s. He's hitting on 3s. Crush 3, crush none, crush 1. I don't know how many wounds I did, but I wavered them. There you go, 8 wounds. 8 wounds is a lot, right? Still need a 7 to take them off though. 7 twice maybe. 7 twice is not great odds. Didn't do it. Pooh. So here we go. Turn 4 back on me. So the general that was over there, along with the spear phalanx, flank my monarch. Yeah. And these two, I think, just charge my general. Over here, this general turns around. Turn around. Oh, this was not a rear. It was a flank. My bad. I thought it was a rear. He flanks me in the woods. He is hitting on 5s, but I have 5 wounds. I will die. Yeah. And then this double wand beast cavalry. So lazy. Look, he's fallen over. His models are broken. Yeah, they eat my horde alive and take the 2-point token. Very sad. So my plan is falling apart. My general dies on this side. He was here holding off these lovely, lovely spear phalanx. There's a heal gone on here for 1 point, and my monarch dies too. So the monarch has also carked it. It's not looking good. It's really... Okay, I'm still holding on to the... I don't care about this. I have picked up the token though. I picked up the token, and my 1 unit is now facing off against 5 regiments, 2 standard bearers, and a general. What do you think the chances are? I mean, if you're praying for a double 1, it doesn't bode well, does it? It doesn't bode well. And my wizard dies, and he takes that token as well. So right now, it is very nastily. I mean, it's 2, 4, 6-1. 6-1 to Tony at this point, at the end of turn 4. Right. Everything to play for. Ooh, lighting changes. That's strange. So, into turn 5. I've stopped taking a photo of the time dice. I'm so sorry. Into turn 5. So, we decide. I look at this picture and I think, this is not great. So, I hold up. The general is the kind of scariest threat here because he has crush a billion, crush 2, thunder 1, and I'm defense 5. So the instigator tries to ground him, and I decide of all the units to charge, this is the one because it puts me out of charge here. It blocks a line of sight here, so I only have to take these guys maybe if I can kill this unit, which is already on 2 wounds. If I just charge the wounded unit, I'm going to get quad charged, and that's horrible. Let's make it last. It's turn 5, don't forget. I bolt thrower off, ballista off the general, which is another magnificent result. And my hero on Pegasus just runs over this wall this way, and I charge my fanatics, sharpness fanatics, into this spear phalanx to try and get rid of them. And then in a last-ditch attempt, I look at this unit. I think they're on 14 wounds, guys. I just need to do a wound, 1 wound. And so the standard bearer goes in. And yes, in this turn, I am hoping both for a double 1 and a standard bearer to roll a 5 followed by a 5. So there you go. Sharpness fanatics absolutely fluff it on 3s and 3s. 4 wounds is rubbish. So we're going to grind that out for a turn or 2. I do a wound to the general. That's brilliant. And I waver this unit. That's not perfect. I'm going to admit that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. And then the little standard bearer. I rolled a 5 on the first one. I got so excited. And then I rolled a 4. So, yeah. sad time. So we're entering into turn 6 now, and this is what the situation looks like. So this unit's got a 2-point token. Oh, it wasn't 6-1, was it? It was 4-3. Because I still had this 2-point token. There's a 1-point token here. This is my 2-point token, but this unit is, you know, if these guys come forward, it's. I mean, there's lots of flanking. There's a 2-point token here, and there's a 1 and a 1. So as it stands, I'll actually... Oh no, there's a 1. He's got this one. I think I'll win this grind off on turn 6. I think this will die. I can't... So he's moved this unit very carefully. So all the bolt throws are over here. Also, the lines of sight are like this. Remember when I said at the beginning that I was worried that I'd mispositioned my bolt throwers? They've done amazing work this game. They have, you know, delivered everything I've asked them to. And then we get to turn 6 and I thought, damn, I'm in the wrong place. Can't quite see. Oh, turn 5 for Tony is where we're at. So he's got turn 5 first. So he charges my standard bearer. Rude. Very rude. And there's the flank. So it's just a flank because these guys were wavered. So waver isn't that bad, really. But there is 24 attacks on 4s and 5s. And then everything else comes on this poor little instigator. What did he do? Apart from, you know, everything. 7 wounds. And guess what? He lives, guys, because instigators are great. Being a dash 14 means you do tend to survive 2 rounds of combat. 3 wounds here is brilliant. However, I now need to kill here and then take a double charge. So this could be very poor on turn 6. So the poor little standard bearer carks it, and he's turned, so I still can't see him with bolt throws. And I can't see him with the hero. Into my turn 6. Look, I took 2 pitch the turn dice. So I move my bolt throwers this turn. In case there's a turn 7, I will get a shot off. 4 wounds he did here. Not enough to kill, which is great because I'm dash 15. Just as well, no inspiring. So we counter charge here. Should get that token now. The hero moves over here. Again, waiting for my turn 7, just in case, because I need this 2-point token. And I counter charge here, and we counter charge the general because he can see, and we don't want him flying. So, you know, I don't want to say it, but actually, I kind of have a little bit of a chance for draw. So as it stands, I lose, right? Unless he double ones this unit, or doesn't kill it. If he doesn't kill that unit, I win ridiculously on turn 6. Because I will have 2 here, and then I will have 3 and 4. Hopefully if I kill this unit, right? So here's 3, because he'll have this one and this one. So ridiculously, on turn 6, if he doesn't kill that unit, I will win. However, he needs to not kill this unit. Tense, isn't it? It felt very tense. Tony's hands were shaking. I was shaking. It was like really... And we were very, very low on clock. Like very low on clock. 8 minutes. That's not that low, is it? I made that sound more dramatic than it is. I apologise. So, yeah. So, off we go. So, we murder that unit. Hurrah. Great. I've got the token. And now he's got the choice of dropping this 2-point token to get a 1-point token. That's a bad choice. Don't do it. And I don't kill this unit. So, that's really horrific. So, what were they on? How many wins were they on? 4. Do another 3. I don't kill him. I don't kill him. So he gets to flank me again. Look, he only did 3 wounds. Can I survive it? Can I survive it? Let's go. Turn 6. No. Just real quick with you there. Nope. I cannot. He triple charges the unit, takes the token. Oh, okay. So he takes that token off me, assuring his victory on turn 6. Oh, but guess what, lads and ladies and non-gender-specific people? It's a turn 7. It's a turn 7, and he's on 2 minutes 39. So turn 7. Here's how we're looking. Right, the instigator is dead. This unit is dead. This entire half of the board is his. I have nothing here. He has 2-point token, 1-point token, 2-point token, right? I'm playing for a draw. I'm playing for a draw. Why am I playing for a draw? Why am I playing for a draw? 2, 3, So 2. Oh, you know. Right. Yes, I'm playing for draw. I don't know why. Because I can charge, right? One of these units can drop their token, charge in here, do a wound, take the 2, and that gives me a 3 to 3. That's all I'm playing for. Or I can shoot them with 2 bolt throwers. Tense, huh? I still lose them though, so I better not shoot them. I better charge them. I don't know, and it depends on me rolling a wild charge of 13. This is exactly 12.5 inches away. Do I roll that? Yes, I bloody do. Yes, I do. My dice on fire. Incredible. So the Fanatics go hindered again into this unit. I just need to do 1 wound. I'm on 3s and 4s. But I haven't got a Bane Chant. I've got nothing. Right? I've moved this guy over as if there's going to be a turn 8. Not going to happen. Do I get it? Do I get the draw? Of course I do. Of course I do. Yeah. And that's the end of the game. So there you go. I got the draw in the end. What a great game. What a fabulous guy. Just such a nice man. And it was super close. Great armies. Yeah. Great dice. I had great... That's my wild charge roll right there. That 5 in the middle. So yeah, we had a really great game. Really close. My dice really helped against the far stronger force of Kingdoms of Men. But with a draw. That puts me at 2 losses, 1 win and a draw as we head into game 5. And I didn't. I was going to tell you, I didn't achieve my my secret objective. I've remembered for the first time, because if you look at this battlefield, and we go across half like this, it's something like that. I've got 3 unit strength on my half of the battlefield, and he has 4. It's actually these guys. You have to be wholly on the half of the battlefield. These guys are half on. Right? He's got 4. He's got his general and these guys, and I've just got 3. So I don't get it. Into game 5, last game of the tournament. And so we crashed into game 5, last game of the tournament, and I am very excited to be playing against Kat. Kat is an extraordinary hobbyist. Very, very, very talented painter and sculptor and modeler. And also the sister of Warren that I played in game 1. So she painted his Player's Choice winning army from my first game. And I'm going to say she's 75% way through painting this Salamander army. So not quite finished. So some of the units look a little bit bare. But it's some very, very cool hobby stuff in it that I'm going to talk about as we go through. But yeah, I met her a couple of years ago at Adepticon. Really admired her army there. So really super cool to get to play against such a high standard hobbyist. And this was her Salamanders. So she has 3 regiments of Salamander Unblooded. They're kind of a berserker unit, but they hit on 4s with Thunder 1. Fireborn, this rule Fireborn up here, is actually, it gives them life leech for every Inferno tagged unit that is within 6 inches. But up to life leech 3. However, we do forget, it doesn't come up. So I don't know whether Cat forgot about it or whether it just didn't come up. I don't know. Anyway. But 13-15 is supposed to dash 15, which my berserkers get. So, I found a unit that potentially I might be better than in berserker-wise, except for all the auras, which we'll come on to. 3 units of Corsairs. Corsairs hit and shoot equally well. They have piercing. Oh, they have piercing. They do have piercing. They have piercing and they have crushing. And they are also fireborn. Also doesn't come up. So it's a great unit. 13-15 again. So low nerve, but great unit. A horde of Rhino Cavalry with the Jesse's Boots of Striding, giving them a one-off Strider. That's just a super, super punchy unit. Very, very good. Brutal. Got all the rules. Ember Sprites, which are a fantastic chaff unit. I like them in a horde because they have a dash 14 nerve, which is so hard to shift. They are only defense 3, but again, they shoot and they scout. Greater Fire Elemental, who is brilliant, and she's taken the Aura of Wild Charge. So this is really important because it gives, for example, the Salamander Unblooded a Wild Charge D3 +1, and that's more. And there's more because this Herald over here has got an Aura of Wild Charge 2. So they charge up to 16 inches. They're effectively now cavalry with Pathfinder, because there's an Aura of Pathfinder from the Battle Captain here, who's taken the Path of Fire to give an Aura of Pathfinder. So they are always hitting on 4s, and they have an enormous range. So really nice use of auras. It does require you to play them all together and to kind of make that work. So anyway, it's pretty good. And he's got Fireball, that greater fire elemental. So then 2 Commodons. I think these are very, very underrated shooting guys. They have unit strength, which is fantastic, and they move 5. So they also have a blast in melee, which is pretty tasty if you think about it. It's only 3 attacks, but damn. So I like them. Very, not too expensive. 115 points. Fire Drake, who's like a mini dragon with 12 attacks and a fire breath. Phoenix, unkillable Phoenix. They're so good. Lots of heal 5. They fly around, but they are height 6. If you're tempted to shoot them, though, they regen on a 4+. There's the Herald I've talked about. The Battle Captain we've talked about. With his, he's got 3 attacks, not bad. And then Firebrand, the Corsair hero. She's a brilliant hero. She's got an aura of elite, so all of these Corsairs become elite when they're shooting, which is great. And she has all of the rules, so that's pretty cool. We are playing Pillage on this beautiful board. The boards I've been playing on have been getting better and better. I think, the airbrushing on this massive tower is just spectacular. Great job. Apologies because this isn't... I played actually on that side in the end. Because I chose it. Because I could put my bolt throws in this wood. That's pretty much it. But same kind of amount of terrain. So 2 hills, 2 height 9 terrain. This is height 2 and height 2 difficult terrain. There is a lake for height flat. And then a wall. And there's another forest down there and this forest here. So yeah, same as that, but nice board. This is a terrible picture, for which I apologise. But you can see that I ended up putting tokens behind. So down here, right? Because there's 7. Down here and down here. So right on the edges. So what I wanted to do is have something I could sit on behind things. So behind a house or whatever. Can you see here? Not sure. I think there's one under this thing. Yeah, there's one here behind the house. There's probably one here-ish somewhere. There's one behind the woods, right? And there's 3 down the middle. A cat put down the middle. So she wants me to come in, to have to come across this giant killing ground while she shoots me to death with her Corsair. So she's gone Corsair. So what I did in placing my forces, so I chose this side because I had the woods to put bolt throws in. Again, I put bolt throws in first. Which she pretty much just ignored, which is fair. She's put a kind of slightly more squishy berserker units behind this height 2 rough terrain. I put my flyers down here. So if you look, there they are. So there's a instigator and general down here. And to kind of challenge against that, because there is a token there in the middle, probably here, I want to say. Yeah. She's put Corsairs, and a Commandant. So all of her shooting, a kind of more powerful shooting, is down this side. That's going to finish off my general pretty sharpish. And they're very mobile. They can come and stand on this hill. So it's a pretty nice move, really. These are her 3 Berserker units. This is the Fire Elemental. This is the Phoenix. And this is her Fire Drake. We'll look at those in a second because I want to talk about them. But and then she's got the Array of Heroes. The other Commandant is here, and these are the Ember Sprites, which are going to scout forwards. So what I've done is I'm playing for, very consciously, this to... not that one, actually. Possibly that one, but definitely this one. Definitely this one that's here. Definitely this one. And then I'll contest the one in the middle if I can. If not, I have this one, right? That's my 4 to win. Because this is going to be hell coming across here. I'm going to get shot, and maybe even shot, and shot. There's just like... it's a giant death zone. Okay. I've got enough meat here to hopefully last that. And I've layered my forces. You can see I've layered up. So these guys and these guys I want to get shot at. She's probably going to spend a lot of time shooting at this guy, who's going to last a reasonable time, and I've got my second layer of hitty stuff behind. Over here, I've very heavily weighted the right-hand side. I've very heavily weighted because that's 2 tokens to me. This one and this one. So what I want to do is, it doesn't matter what gets sent over here. A Fire Drake, Phoenix, Fire Elemental. Those are quite tough guys. There's 60 attacks there. And shooting. And Hex. So and a piece of chaff pea. So I've really heavily weighted to hopefully win that side and then push forwards. And I looked at this, and I'll show you what I did in my first turn. But here's Cat's army. So that's not a great picture, but that's Corsairs and Commodon. And there's Corsairs. The Corsair unit's not quite finished, not quite all the models on them yet, but they will be there. These guys are. I didn't even realise these guys were on separable bases. I've really taken poor photographs, very blurry, but you know, it's a very, very high standard over here. And then Unblooded, nearly finished, and these are her Fire Drakes. But these guys I want to talk about. So she's printed these on a transparent resin, and then she's painted them with like an oil, layer upon layer of oil wash. And I think it's just so clever. What a clever way to do it. We talked about like mini smoke generators to like send smoke out of these holes out here. And since then, Facebook's been sending me constant adverts for mini smoke generators. Thanks, Facebook. That was me having a drink live on camera. I'm not going to edit it out because I can't bother. So just such clever modelling. He's really very, very talented, very, very good. Right, on to turn 1, and I lose turn 1. Boo. That's sad. So Cat pushes forward, so she just brings, so she's scouted with her Ember Sprites right up forward to block off. Got all her stuff behind. This is the guy that gives, I think this is the Herald, the Battle Captain, I don't know, maybe he's here, don't know. But we have a Phoenix for Fire Sparks, we've got Fireball, we've got whatever the Fire Drake does. Yep. And 2 Commodons and everything else just push forward, so I have to weather a turn of shooting. And I do, so nothing else here. They're out of 18 inches, so I think I maybe take a couple of shots. I'm not sure if they hit. And then I just book it out of there. I take a look at 3 Corsair units and I say, nah, thanks. And so I send my General and my Instigator all the way over here to hide behind the tower. And I have to say, I don't think Cat was expecting that. And wasn't very impressed. I was like, what the hell, man? And I'm like, sorry. It's kind of a, you know, a dick move, but you know, it is what it is. You have to do what you have to do, because realistically, that means she's got 2 turns of wading across the table, and I can push forward as hard as possible. So what I do is I push up my hero. So you can see I'm just out of line of sight there. So that's a nice place for a hero to be, even though it's only 3 attacks. And then I've kind of formed a line here. So the Fire Drake can charge. I think it will probably shoot instead. And I've got this unit of Fanatics to come up and hopefully come around and grab this token at the back. Yeah, everything else just kind of pushes forward in a nice line, keeping in line with the building. Keep in line with the building to avoid being flanked. I do 2 wounds to something. Oh, probably the Fire Elemental, I think. 2 wounds to the Fire Elemental, and then I Hex using my Wizard. My Wizard just kind of... The Wizard's going to spend the entire game here on this token, right? So he's just popped his nose in the woods, and then we Hex the Phoenix. And I want to do that forever. That's my whole game plan. Hex the Phoenix and into turn 2. By the way, all of Cat's dice were themed after her army, which I noticed and I thought was very cool, and I want to do that. They're all orangey red, which is kind of cool. So these guys just push forward. So she's realised what's happened. However, there are tokens down here. There's one here, which the Commandant's going to sit on. There's one here. And there's one down there. So she's going to push forward with probably with this unit to try and get it. Everything else just kind of sits there. She thinks about the Phoenix and she thinks, actually, I'm going to heal anyway. Now, here's the Battle Captain. Here's the Herald. Everything else backs up to shoot because that's what shooty armies do. I might have complained about that, for which I apologise. I was like, I hate when armies just back up and shoot you. She looked at me as if to say, isn't that's just strategy, man? I'm like, yeah, fair enough. So Fire Drake shoots at the hero. Doesn't do great, so only 1 wound. And then the Fire Drake heals off the wounds from the Greater Fire Elemental, but takes 4. She's pretty fine, really, because she can just regen them next turn. That is some shooting from the Ember Sprites onto my... or something. I can't know. It was so shocked, he fell over. A lot of my stuff came off his bases. Another one came off his base here. So sad. You can see the Zenithal right underneath. It's so dark underneath because you're not supposed to be able to see that. 2 wounds, but they're okay, so I felt good about that. Oh, no, they're not okay. They're waving. That's why he fell over. So shocked. And yeah, that's what focus fire does. 9 wounds against defense 5. Big ouch. Big ouch. I need to get across the ground and quick. So here's how we look as we enter into my turn 2. That's my turn 2. Badam! These were mugs that you got for free, featuring the house on them. How cool is that? And these are tokens that you got for free. How cool is that anyway? Very cool. So this is what I do. I decide I'm going to push forward a little bit harder. So I come up really hard with this guy. So this guy can now not back away without being within my charge range of this horde. He can shoot it if he wants. It's a -22. I throw my hero across because what I don't want is the Ember Sprites charging in here and getting like a triple charge. 3 units on my horde. That would be bad with Pathfinder. So by putting the hero here, I've kind of limited the options for charging. He's basically, he can only get 2 units into my horde, and I don't think 2 of these units, one of them has to be Ember Sprites, will kill me. So that allows me to push forward. And then over here, I take, so this is really, really threatening, really scary unit, the Rhinosaurs. They're going to kill whatever they touch, especially this 9. So this 9 and this 9 wound foot guard horde is going to die. It's dead, right? So we take the instigator into the Rhino horde to hold them up. We do a wound. So to finish my movement shenanigans, so then I move up really. I would never normally get this close because blocking yourself up is bad. But I am 95% certain that this foot guard unit is going to die because she can't avoid shooting it, right? I hope. If she doesn't shoot it, great, we can just charge off. But if she shoots it, it's probably going to die, even though it's a 16-18. The Monarch is here. It's a speed 14, so I've got some choices next turn. He can charge in with these units now. Don't forget, they charge 16. However, that unit will just die anyway. I think you could double charge this unit with them, which would be pretty tasty, but then he's going to get flanked by something. So I'm okay with how it stands. I'm going to take some heat because he's still got a lot of shooting. She's still got a lot of shooting. So I think she'd be tempted to shoot rather than charge at this point. And that's what I'm banking on. So the Hexed Phoenix on 4 wounds. I shoot my bolt thrower. So we do a wound there, which is great. I shoot and I waver it. So it's up to 8 wounds and it's wavered, which is pretty great. So no more healing for you. Didn't really need to hex it. Anyway, I hexed it again. On to turn 3 for the Salamanders. So regen does what regen does. Back down to 5. These guys just kind of move up and so face across. So these these Corsairs come off the hill into the flank of the Instigator. These guys in the front, so he's definitely going to cark it. As suspected, she doesn't take the charges. She chooses to shoot. Probably sensible. I mean, I brought my general across now as well, so that's looking in a nasty place. I'd have been tempted to lock up at least the horde with these guys. Or maybe over here. Just really kind of mush something up. Because if these Ember Sprites are coming to this horde, I can't touch her Fire Drake and she can, start shooting me with impunity. As it is, there's going to be some, more shooting for her, but I've got free reign to charge what I like. So yeah, there's some shooting, probably. There it is. So the horde takes 2 wounds from the Fire Drake. I think the Greater Fire Elemental fireballs this unit for 3 wounds by Sharpness Fanatics. Oof, that's a lot of wounds, guys. So the Commandant, I think, does 2 wounds to the Monarch. And this foot guard at the front is up to 17, which is its nerve, 16-18. And it dies. So that's what I wanted. It's going to go, and this unit in the front is okay. And yeah, so the Instigator dies. And now the Rhinosaurs are actually shielded by this Corsair unit, which is pretty cool. So into turn 3 for the men, the manly men. And this is how we're looking. So it's not going terribly badly. It's going okay. I think as okay as you can be. I don't like how many things there are here for me to get to. I'm running out of chaff, right? So this, she didn't choose to shoot or kill my hero. So I've got an extra piece there to play with. So that's to my benefit. So here's what we do. Don't forget, I need 3 units to kill any unit. And so I do. Monarch, Foot Guard, and Hero into 1 Corsair unit, because that's what I need. It also allows me to turn my hero to block the Rhinosaurs next turn. Right, I've got 1 Foot Guard unit, defense 5, which will be 16, 18 against these Corsairs, and the Monarch can face this way. Yeah, so it's a reasonable defensive strategy while these guys move up. On the right hand side, again, it's not 3 units, it's 2 units, but it's a Horde and a Regiment, and one of them's got Sharpness. Come into these Ember Sprites hindered. That should put pay to them, but then I'm going to take some charges from the Fire Elementals. The General's still loitering. I couldn't see a good target for him yet, so I thought I'd bide my time with the General. Didn't want to waste him. And I rolled high on my Wild Charge again, which is very fortunate. So my Horde can now come into that Fire Drake. I think I've got that there, and I've got these guys in reserve just in case I don't. To sit on this token. So, more swag there. Look at that. Beautifully placed swag. Anyway. We hex again, and we do more wounds. So we went from, that's a lot of wounds, up to 11 now on the Phoenix. People say you should never shoot Phoenixes because you just can't kill them. Well, it turns out you can, because I think I do. We Bane Chant the Fanatics. The Phoenix, goes. Very, very happy I killed the Phoenix. I did give it a little bit of a cheer, which possibly was uncharitable. I'll take it. And we kill the Fire Drake. So roll out the box with the old Fire Drake there and really smash it out of the park. So that puts that Horde into a great place because I have the token I can kind of get uncontested now, which is nice. And I move forward. And we do kill that regiment. And as I said, so I don't think this Rhinosaur Horde can turn and come into the flank here. Just not enough room to turn. The only choice they have is to charge my hero. So, plans coming together in the middle. It's counters turn 4, so now it's crunch time. We have lots of charges going on. Lots. So we have a 1 Unblooded and Fire Elemental into my Sharpness. 2 Unblooded into my Horde. So this could be very, very painful here in the center. Over here, so we take, probably sensibly, she decides not to charge, instead to shoot, because these guys are just as good at shooting as they are as charging. Plus, she couldn't fit as many in. So this is Firebrand. We've got Commodon, and we have double Corsairs, all shooting at this unit. So that's looking very bad. And we have the Rhinosaurs into my hero. Should kill it. My Monarch is left alone. So, yep. Unfortunately, the Sharpness Fanatics die. Very sad for me. 8 wounds and 6 wounds. So that's 2 Commodons, I think, into the Monarch. 6 wounds is a lot, but he's okay. It's okay. I don't know what gender it is. And then my Foot Guard Horde is also okay on 8 wounds, but it's got 8 wounds, so not long for this world. 8 wounds there, so 2 regiments of Unblooded into them. Not hindered because of the aura. 8 wounds. So, boo. And my hero dies. Yeah, well, that's expected. Turn 4 for me. So here's what we do. The General decides to come into play. So we take my Fanatics off the hill into this Fire Elemental, and we take the General in the flank just to really make sure we get it. You can see she's backed up these Unblooded here, but these guys are still in combat. So then we take the Horde and the Regiment into this unit, because you need 2 units to kill anything. It's Kings of Men. I charge this unit. We're going to die, but we just need to hold them off, because what I want now, I've got this token, I've got this token, I've got this token because this Horde has moved around here. I need this token in the center to win. That's all I'm concerned about now. All of this is a holding action. We are just holding everything off for as long as possible. So Monarch in here, Foot Guard in here. And all I need is my Horde, actually. 4 unit strength if I can kill things. We Bane Chant this Elite Regiment. 5 wounds, what's that? 5, that's Bolt Throwers. Bolt Throwers! Ballistas are great, man. I can't even tell you how good they are, so good. And then I waver them. So lucky. So lucky I rolled a 10. I am hanging on here. Skin of my teeth, I tell you what. We do kill the fire elemental. That's great. And we turn like this. So that's perfect. So you're going to have to charge my general. Hindered. Unlikely to die. And then you will die on the counter charge. So looking good there. That kind of sucked. 3 wounds. Doesn't really matter. Holding action. Into turn 5. The vodka bottle is looking very low. This is how we're looking. So I've switched both ways. So I've got these guys and these guys protecting this critical token. Everything else I've pretty much got very securely. Let's see what happens. So that is an interesting move. Oh, because they're wavered. That's why wavered. They can only turn. So this is the Herald or the Battle Captain. One of them might even be the Herald. Charged with 1 attack, charges into my General to stop him flying. Remind you of anyone last game. And then the Battle Captain and this Unblooded coming to my Horde, who are on 8 wounds. So they're going to try and kill it off, which is probably the better move because I've not got a lot of responses apart from bolt throws. There's a counter charge here. And then a double charge from Corsairs. So that is... oh, that's Firebrand, I believe, shooting them for 3 wounds. Cheeky. Very cheeky. My Monarch survives a Rhinosaur charge, which is excellent. 12 wounds and wavered. That's exactly what I need at this stage of the game. 1 more turn, all that matters. So these guys, they do only 4 wounds, which is very, very poor. So that's very, very poor dice. I did feel bad for Cat at this point because that was not what you want to see at this turn stage of the game. However, the Herald knocks it out of the park. Look at that. 1 wound on my General. Stops me flying. So now it's my turn 5. At this point, the Wizard's got nothing to do. He just backs off. Backs off behind the wood and just sit on that token. That's my token for the rest of the turn. My Fanatics back off. And these guys stay here, right? We do my second withdraw move of the tournament. So excited to use withdraw. I think it's a terrible rule. Because, to be honest, and this is a small sidetrack here. So withdraw is a rule where you can back up 1 inch and then choose a new target to charge if you can do the pivots, if you're a square base. Yes, it makes you feel clever. Yes, it means you can do things you couldn't otherwise do. For your opponent, it's just a feel bad move. That's all it is. It just makes your opponent feel bad because they didn't see it. And it makes them feel stupid. And I think that's really poor. We shouldn't have a game where your opponent feels stupid because you've thought of this stupid, clever, completely non-logical move. Anyway, whatever. That's my lecture over. So I use it because I'm an asshole. So I withdraw from the Herald and I charge this unit in the flank. I countercharge. I countercharge the regiment. We move. What do we do this for? What do these guys do? I think I'm hiding from the Commandant. So I move. That's what I do. So I actually sidestep this way so that if they kill my Waver, which they will, Monarch, they still have to come through me. So I've got a good chance. And we bolt throw that for 1 wound for reasons. Ah, that's a shame, isn't it? So 9 wounds onto that regiment. They're only a 13-15 and I rolled a 3. Boo! With Bane Chant as well. Boo! Double boo! Anyway. Turn 6. Make or break time. Can Cat smash through the middle to get that final token to win? And here's the thing. Because she was messing around with these guys so much, this token is untouched down here. So actually at this point, she's playing for draw. She's got a Commodore on this one. And she needs this one to make it 2. That's mine, that's mine, that's mine. So that's 3 for me automatically. 2, so she only get 2. Ah, actually it's looking a bit tense. I'm not sure how she can win at this point. I think I've got it. I was playing for this middle one really desperately thinking it was a 3, be a 4-3, but actually she's only got the 2. Possibly if she gets this one in the middle. So actually it's quite secure at this point. Sorry to break the dramatic tension there, guys. Anyway. Oh, no, there it is. There's 1. So she has got 2. It's okay. Dramatic tension reinstated. there's a token here. It's okay. So she's playing for draw. Ooh, tension. Okay. So we could draw at the end of this game if she manages to get this center token. As I was saying, obviously, guys. So there's the tokens. And there's the charges. And she's got some shooting going on. There's a charge there into my horde to finish them off. The Herald decides to once again have a go at my general. Rude. Stop it. And yeah, the shooting does it. Great shooting in this really focused fire. So both regiments of Corsairs and Firebrand takes off my regiment, which was my backup plan for turn 7. And she wavers, so she puts them up to 17 wounds, which is a lot for a 21, 23, actually 23, 25, because the Monarch is still within 6. Wavers them, but they do have Indomitable Will, which I will be using. Yeah, that was just a small mistake that possibly cost her the draw, because she didn't do the Monarch first. The Monarch did, of course, die, but because he wasn't dead, he was still rallying. Always do the rallying and inspiring guys first, right? So at this point, turn 7 is looking very, very shaky. So on my turn 6, what I do is I fly my general across. So the Herald doesn't do a wound this turn, so I can fly. So to block off these guys, really save myself for this token. Why don't I counter charge? I do. No, I do. I absolutely do charge them, and I obliterate them. And then turn. So on a turn 7. She will probably shoot this unit off, but there's not a lot else that can happen. Put some wounds up there, but they're okay. So yeah, the general just gets smushed into tiny pieces for points. These guys get shot at, so we are now up to 20 wounds, and we disappear, so I lose that token. This is turn 7, obviously. There is a turn 7. So I lose that. My my general on Wound Beast also dies. This one I found out her units were removable. I was really excited. However, on my turn 7, there's nothing, unfortunately, she can do to get this token. She's got this one with her Corsairs, and I have got these 3. So, a very tight victory for the last game. What a great game. Really close. Very enjoyable. Very beautiful battlefield. Beautiful armies. And that was the end of my tournament. How exciting. So yeah, but at the end of the tournament, obviously I didn't place anywhere. I finished up on 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. Some really tight games, and I don't think I made a fool of myself, but I certainly didn't play my greatest. And when I was saved mainly by dice. I'm happy to admit that, but I was really, really flattered to win Best Appearance, which is kind of like there was 2 hobby awards. There was the Player's Choice. Which Warren won, my Game 1 opponent, with his amazing Goblin army painted by Cat. My Game 5 opponent. And then there was a judges kind of awards that Mike himself awarded based on the army that he thought was painted best, and he awarded it to me, which is very kind. I call it the Having a Funny Accent in America award. It's really, really nice of him to do that, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that kindness. But yeah, what a fantastic tournament. I just, had such an amazing time. I ate an enormous amount of food. I met some really wonderful, hilariously brilliant people. I met Bart Kohler, who is just one of the coolest guys I've ever met in my life. And I've played maybe more games against him than maybe anyone else on Universal Battle over like pre-COVID for 2 years. And so cool to finally meet someone that you've talked to 1,000 times. And he was just as awesome as I'd imagined. Sometimes you meet someone and maybe they're not as cool in real life as they are on text, twice as cool. Like we got on like a house on fire. He was just such a great guy. And I just met tons of people that I was really excited to meet. And, to meet Mike Atkins of Dash 28 fame. He created Dash 28, guys. Along with Jake and everyone. So Jake didn't turn up. Boo to Jake for not turning up. But I did meet Jake's brother. How cool is that? To meet Jake's brother. Who is basically Jake, but I think shorter? I don't know. He's basically the same guy. He was very cool. He turned up on the second day as a ringer because someone had to go home. So great to meet him. Noah, I believe his name is. He was lovely. I just met I literally can't list out the cool people I met. I met a lot of people from Dojo, the infamous Dojo, who on finishing day 1 of the tournament went back downstairs and continued to play multiple games of Kings of War. As did I, very drunk, very late at night. Played Brad Park from Dojo, who's very kind to thrash me about 11:30 at night. It was just, how cool. I really had the most amazing time. So glad I went. Really, really glad I took the time to go and to meet these people. I really hope I can go again soon. I think we're planning for I've talked to a couple of friends about maybe coming over in 2025 again. Probably to the East Coast, because the West Coast is just a little bit far to come for a tournament. But East Coast looks good. There's lots of great tournaments on the East Coast. I probably wouldn't do Adepticon again, just because I've already been once and it's very expensive. But there's lots of places we can go. There's Orktown, and there's Bug Eater, and there's Pilgrimage. So kind of trying to think about what's the or Lady in the Lake, you know, all these kind of places. So there's lots of cool things we can do. We just need to make the date work and make it all work for all of us to come. Do a bit of a British invasion, might be really fun. But that's about it for me for now. Thanks to everyone who made me feel so welcome. So a massive thanks to Mike Zedelmeyer, who picked us up, who picked myself and Chris, who'd flown in as well. Also British, but lives in America right now. There we are. There's Mike Zedelmeyer, and there's me and Chris. On the way there, and a massive thank you to Alex Jarvis, who took us on the way back. How cool is that? Really, really cool to meet these people that you only met online. And look, there's me in front of the White House. Yay! It was really hot, and there was like lots of people protesting about various things, and there was some guy wailing on an electric guitar for reasons. Yeah, we had a brilliant time. So that's the end of my tournament report, and the end of me traveling to America for this year. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you haven't in the comments. Please feel free to post controversial comments like on my last video, which means that loads more people comment and shout at them, and therefore I got the algorithm so more people can see these videos. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next. What's going to happen next on Death Island? Well, I have my good friend Cy Brand is coming to play me at King's War next week, and we're going to record it. We're going to put it on the internet. So a live battle report coming, and then after that live battle report, I will have a tournament report. Oh no, will I? I might have another live battle report, because I believe 2 weeks after that, I've got Richard coming back for some more punishment. He won the last one. Did he win the last one? I can't remember. So we're going to have 2 live battle reports and then a tournament report just this month. Wow, we're on fire. I'm going to start making my terrain videos. Yeah, I've come back thoroughly in love with the game. Really, really enthusiastic, really excited. Can't wait to make more content for you. We'll see you next time on Death by Dragon.